Hey, how's it going, everybody? Thought I'd do a little reading from The Guardians of the Mad Colonel by me. I'm on chapter 16, Toxic. We're going to dive right into the middle of the action. Here we go. As a bullet touched Jonathan's forehead, he transformed his entire head into water and allowed the bullet to plunge right through him and exit, leaving a small hole that immediately refilled with more water. He reverted back to normal, rubbed his head to make certain he was okay, and then continued his rampage through Ferguson Corp's line. "Hit him harder," Lieutenant Kane called out. "Captain Wheeler, what are you doing? Kill him!" Jonathan's blue eyes watched a short, bulky man rearrange his troops before moving on him. "Take him out," Captain Wheeler shouted, loading a new magazine into his rifle. Roughly 60 people spread across the entire width of the shore, with the only cover from the Humvees parked slightly slanted, fired at the Guardian of Water. Jonathan yelled at the top of his lungs as he transformed his entire body into water while simultaneously casting the entire stream of levitating water at the platoon. The water caught some of the bullets while he whirled it around and to knock people out, but the bullets still managed to hit him, taking out parts of his watery form that continually reformed from water that manifested from his energy. He approached Captain Wheeler as he fumbled to reload his weapon. The man looked absolutely terrified as Jonathan got to him, but the Guardian felt nothing for him and punched the captain hard in the chest, sending him hard to the sand, gasping for air. John walked onward, despite bullets striking him, and kept taking out the men and women who tried to kill him and pollute the lake, hitting them so ruthlessly with his fists and water that they slid on their backs across the sand of the shore, some even falling into the toxic lake. He swirled water rapidly over his hand and then shot it at the remaining squads standing between him and Lieutenant Kane, who stood over a squad of men as they poured 3 more barrels of oil into the lake. "Don't stop, Captain Burke," Lieutenant Kane ordered, and then began firing at the approaching Guardian. Jonathan cast a small stream of water that wrapped around the barrel of the lieutenant's rifle and then jerked it right out of his hands into the air. Lieutenant Kane's confidence didn't waver as he raised his guard to fight the Guardian. "I'm going to kill you for polluting my lake," Jonathan told him grimly, turning his body to flesh and blood. The lieutenant nearly smiled at him and then threw the first punch, aiming at the Guardian's head, but Jonathan dodged it and punched his ribs hard, robbing the man of breath. As he gasped for air, Jonathan grabbed Lieutenant Kane's arm, pulled him back, and then pushed the man toward the lake. They trudged a few feet deep before John forced him to bend over by pushing down on his shoulder. The Guardian of Water held the man's head underwater as he struggled to come up for air. He stared down at him with hatred, and then an invisible force suddenly struck him and caused him to lose his grip on the man, letting Kane surface and gasp in oxygen. As Jonathan stumbled back 3 steps, wondering what caused him to lose his grip, he saw Ben standing next to Kane. "We don't kill people, John," Ben told him seriously, rain blowing in the Guardian of the Mind's face and wind blowing his long hair around chaotically. "He deserves to die," Jonathan yelled back, pointing at Kane. "He violated my landmark. His people have been trying to kill us this whole time." He took a step forward to finish the job, but Ben teleported in front of him. "It's not our place to decide who lives and who dies, man," his friend told him, putting his hand out to stop him. There we go. Jonathan swatted Ben's hand out of his way and then walked past him to Kane. "You're upset. I would be too," Ben said lightly as he turned around. "We're better than this. If you take this man's life, you will never be able to live with yourself. I know you. You're like a brother to me. Hell, you inspire me to be a better man. Don't do this, please." Jonathan paused for a moment as he looked back at his friend. Anger and hatred for what had been done to his lake had blinded him. He lowered his hands and looked down at Kane, who trembled in the blackish water. "Get the hell out of here." And that's chapter 16, Toxic. Keeps going, but I think we'll stop there. It only gets better from there. Have a good day.